Yo, yo, yo. I'm back with lead code. Next set of questions to do. All right. Let me set up the subscriber count. Let's see. Yeah, see live count, right? How do you see?
Yo, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on? Mm-hmm. What did he do here? Okay, copy this URL. And then, what is this? Is this a scene? What? Copy the URL in OBS. What is this guy doing, brother? What did he do here, man? Add browser. Okay. Add browser. Okay, then what? Then login. Hmm? Okay, he created an entire scene here. Interesting, that is interesting. What? I should have done. How is he interacting with this? Okay. Okay, let me see. Close this. See live count. Copy. Go here, paste. Okay, what happened? Okay. What? What's happening, man? Okay, this is not working, so let's continue with our daily usual program. So I'm on this question, which is k closest point to origin. Let's get into it. Given an array of points where points of I is xi, yi represents a point on the xy plane and an integer k, return the k closest points to the origin. The distance between 2 points on the xy plane is the Euclidean distance, which is the square root of x minus x2 squared plus y minus y2 squared. You may return the answer in any order. The answer is guaranteed to be unique except for the order that it is in. Let's see this example. 1, 3 and minus 2, 2. K closest. So I need to get one closest point to the origin among these points. So I mean, I can simply calculate the distance and put them in a min heap or something like that, right? Min heap or max heap? Max heap, right? Closest means smaller distance, so we need to pop out larger distances, so larger should be at the top of the heap, so that's why max heap. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's make a heap priority queue of int. By default it is max heap. The implementation is max heap in here, so max heap, right? Then for p in points, I can call a function return k closest points, right? Ah, okay. I mean, so I need to store the distance plus the pair, right? So a priority queue of a pair of integer. Subedara, hello brother. How you doing? So a pair of integer and the points, which is just a vector of int, right? And we need a comparator function. Let's ask ChatGPT here. Let's just copy and paste this. Good. What about you? I'm doing good as well, brother. Thanks for asking. It's been going, decently smooth. Okay. How to create a custom comparator for this Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Or I can simply, instead of doing this bullshit, let's just store a simple vector, and this will store distance x and y, right? And we just do max heap on just the distance. Okay. So okay, struct compare vector pair int for this max heap. I want to order it on the first element in the vector. By default will compare lexicographically, meaning it compares element by element starting from index 0, assuming all vectors are the same length. Max heap. Okay, we create a struct. You gained a subscriber. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Struct compare. Bool operator. We compare two vectors. Return this. Okay. Priority queue. Vector int. Vector of vector int. Compare. Compare, which is a struct which has a function called operator. Okay. Comparator, which should be a struct, and it should have a function called operator where it should compare two vectors, and we simply return the distance, which is the 0th element, should be lesser than the other one, right? Max heap by first element. Max heap. If a0 okay, should be this then, right? No. Yeah, this is correct. Okay. Okay. Seems all right. Now we need to calculate distance of each point from the origin and store it in this priority queue. If this priority queue the size goes more than k, we pop the element. That's all we need to do. Let's write one more function, int get distance from origin, int x, int y, right? And the question is asking for this formula, squared. So this can be it can be double or something, right? Right or wrong? Tin, 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 tin. Squared. Okay, let's do some math here. So square root, right? Square root of this value. Now if x1 minus x2 is negative, square will make it positive. If x1 minus x2 is positive, it is still positive, right? Same here. So this is a positive value at all times. So doing a square root doesn't make any difference. So basically square root of a higher number will be higher than a square root of a lower number. So we don't need to actually perform the square root. We can simply just return power of x1 minus x2. X2 is always 0, right? Yep, so this will be, I mean, effective distance, effective value. So we simply push this to get dist. Let's reduce this function name. One thing to notice here is this can go out of bounds if the values are too big, right? 10 to the power of 8, I believe int max can handle that, so it's all right. Okay, get distance of p0, p1, p0, p1, right? If max heap dot size becomes greater than k, max heap dot pop, then we need to calculate, I mean, aggregate the result and then return it. So vector int result for while max heap dot is not empty, vector int top equals max heap dot top, max heap dot pop, result dot push back top, it should be vector of vector, result dot push back top 1 and top 2. Return result. Let's see if this works. A blinder. Okay, what happened here? Bool operator vector int expected this. Pow means square root, right? No, it's power. Power of pow x2 means x raised to the power of 2 plus y raised to the. So this statement is effectively this. Okay, what is the error? Character 23 bool operator vector. What was the what? Okay. So we just need this. Is that the case? Oh, we are doing operator overloading here. My bad. My bad, my bad. Let's see now. Okay. Works for test values. Let's also add an edge case where this is 10 to the power of 4. This is also 10 to the power of 4. And yeah, negatives is the same thing. Okay, it works. Let's see if it gets submitted. But it is pretty slow. What happened here? Let's look at my last solution, which was around 3 years ago. It is even slower, but what did I do here? I created a point, then okay. Okay. Yeah, kind of the same thing, but yeah, same thing, same shit. Then what's the fastest solution? Hash define LC hack. What? Vector of pair long int. Long int distances. Static cast. Okay, this is some bullshit C++ syntax, but it's essentially the same thing. Maybe priority queue takes more time. So time complexity, what will be the time complexity here? K can be equal to the size of points. Let's say n, there are n points here, so this will be n log n and order of n basically. So n log n is the effective time complexity here, right? This, let's analyze n times log k. Yep, k, if yep, because k is the size of this max heap, so it's fine. Next question. So I did these already. K closest points to k largest element in an array. Oh, it was already opened here, no worries. Given an integer array nums and an integer k, return the kth largest element in the array. Note that it is the kth largest element in the sorted order, not the kth distinct element. Can you solve it without sorting? Kth largest element in the sorted order. Okay. Now k can be n, right? Can you solve it without sorting? So kth largest element. Yeah, create a fucking max heap of size k and push all of the elements. You do lead code videos only? These days, yes, because I'm preparing for interviews. But I do more stuff, uh, like system design sometimes, and some code quality videos I'm planning to do. But mostly lead code. I also do my side projects live. So every once in a while, not frequently though, but it's fun. It's fun to do projects live. I'm looking for an interesting idea for a side project, so if you have one, feel free to type in the chat. And yeah, I'm thinking about projects involving electronics and stuff like Raspberry Pi. Doing that live would be fun, right? What was that roadmap website? Oh, this one. This is Neat Code. This is pretty popular. Um, this is pretty popular list of questions for practicing lead code questions. Practicing algorithms and data structures. So yeah. Also, I'm making a programming language. That sounds dope, man. Making a programming language, isn't that way too hard, or what's happening? So are you writing the compiler? Like, what's happening? And in what language are you writing your compiler or interpreter? As a beginner project. Okay. So it'll be kind of a, not a full-fledged language, of course, but still basic syntax, I believe so. Oh shit. What? Max heap dot push n k equals to uh oh, okay. So k equals to second largest element, right? Second largest is 2 in here. So what's the problem? No. Nah, what? K equals to Given an integer, return the kth largest element. Should be 5, right? Oh, I need a min heap, brother, not a max heap. Okay, let's create a min heap here. Greater int min heap. Okay, that was very stupid. Still, okay, interesting. Done. Task scheduler. You are given an array of CPU tasks, each labeled with a letter from A to Z and a number n. Each CPU interval can be idle or allow the completion of one task. Tasks can be completed in any order, but there is a constraint. There has to be a gap of at least n intervals between two tasks with the same label. Return the minimum number of CPU intervals required to complete all tasks. I didn't understand one bit. Let's see an example. So A, B, 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 n equals 2. After completing task A, you must wait 2 intervals before doing A again. The same applies to task B. In the third interval, neither A nor B can be done. So you idle. By the fourth interval, you can do A again as 2 intervals have passed. What? You are given an array of CPU tasks, each labeled with a letter from A to Z and a number n. And a number n. Each CPU interval can be idle or allow the completion of one task. Tasks can be completed in any order, but there is a constraint. There has to be a gap of at least n intervals between two tasks with the same label. Okay, so if the CPU does a task A, then it has to wait 2 intervals before doing task A again. So it has to pick B. Now the cooldown for A is still 1 remaining, so it cannot. So it has to still oh, okay. Okay, interesting. N is 1, so it has to wait 1 interval before doing that task again. So okay, A B C D A B. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, return the minimum number of CPU intervals required. Okay. So if I do a task A, then okay, first of all, I should calculate the frequencies of these tasks, like how many tasks are A, B, C till Z, right? Then I pick any task, or I should pick a task which is more in volume, right? Like if A task appears 26 times, then I should pick A first, right? Yep. Okay, that is one thing. Okay. This is a good question, brother. N is 100 and tasks dot length is 10 to the power of 4. Have I done this question before? Of course I have. Somehow we need to use priority queue in here. So priority queue, I believe one will be by frequency. The task which appears most in this list should be picked first, right? It kind of makes sense. Okay. Okay, let's make our own test case. We can edit this guy. Let's say there are a bunch of A's and then X and then M. Let's say this is the list and N is 2. Now A appears how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times. B appears twice. C appears once. D appears once. M appears once and X appears once. Right? Now if I pick X, okay, I'm still not sold on the idea that I should pick a task which appears most. If I pick X here, then I have to wait 2 intervals to get X again. Do I need a min heap of the cooldown time? I don't know, I'm not getting any ideas here. Let's take a look at this hint. There are many different, including a greedy algorithm. For every cycle, find the most frequent letter that can be placed in the cycle. After placing, decrease the frequency of that letter by 1. Use priority queue. Yep, I know that. Then what? Then I have to cycle through, right? And I can store the last position of these tasks, maybe. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense, makes sense. How do I cycle through okay. I can. Okay, let's write. Okay, got it. So first of all, we need the frequencies along with the letter. So since there are 26 letters, right? There are 26 letters in the English alphabet. And then for int or char t in tasks, frequency of t minus a plus plus, right? Mem set frequency 0. Let's see mem set in CPP. Value number, size of array. Okay. Instead of doing this, I could have done this and then a constructor here, and initially everything is 0. then I don't need to do this. Now I need to put it in a priority queue. Priority queue. And I need a max heap, so it is default max heap, so we just store a pair of int and char, right? Vector of no comparator max pq. A dot first should be greater than B dot first, right? For int I equals 0, I is less than 26, I plus plus, pq dot push pair dot off, or well, let's do this, make pair the frequency, which will be frequency of I and A plus I, right? Now we have the frequencies. Okay, if it is 0, then we can skip them, right? If frequency of I is 0, then continue, right? Now we can simply do while pq dot empty, while pq is not empty. Okay. Okay, I need to keep track of last position as well. And does this interval start at 1 or 2? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It starts at 1. Let's call this timer, right? Let's also create a vector of int last position of size 26. Initially everything is -1. -1 means there is nothing to worry about, right? I can even do -n, right? Because it will be always available for execution by the CPU, right? -n. Okay, if I do, what do I need to do here? Last position. If the last position of that task is, if current position minus the last position is less than n, less than or equals, right? Then I have to wait for it, right? So -n makes sense here. What if it is equal? Last position of A will be 1 here. Timer becomes 2. Timer becomes 3. Okay, it has to be more. It has to wait. Okay. Now we get the current one, which is pair of int char current equals pq dot top pq dot pop. If it is on a cooldown means current dot um um okay, let me do one thing here. Frequency and character or task. If cooldown means last position of current dot second timer minus pq dot push current, right? We don't do anything and then we continue, right? But this might be in a fucking loop, so we have to we don't need to do this. We have to iterate over pq. We have to iterate over pq. Iterate over priority q in cpp. Okay. Okay, I can't iterate over PQ. What? Okay, I can't iterate over a PQ sequentially. Then what's the point? Maybe I'm thinking this in a different direction. Let's see one of my previous solutions. Pretty bad, but let's see. So we calculate frequency, we create a max heap just of integer, we give out all of the frequencies, okay. Then we create a queue of pair. Okay, time is 0 while max heap is non-empty. While max heap is non-empty or queue is non-empty, max heap is non-empty, then current max heap or dot max heap dot pop current minus minus. Frequency goes if current is not 0, then push q dot push current time plus n plus 1. Okay, basically pushing the time at which it is valid, time plus n cooldown plus 1. So if it is equal to that valid time, we can push that, right? Else time equals q dot front dot second, q dot front dot second. Okay, time equals q dot front dot second. Yeah, makes sense. if q is non-empty and q dot front dot second is equals to time. If q is not empty, q is basically the CPU list, right? If q is non-empty and q dot front dot second is time, q dot front, okay, we push the frequency back into the max heap and then we pop it from the queue. Return time. Okay, so basically we are juggling between max heap and the CPU queue. I could have written this in a more understandable manner, but okay, it's all right. Okay, let's see. So we don't need this shenanigan. We don't need a comparator. We just have a frequency which is pushed in a max heap, and then we have a CPU queue. That's all we need. Okay, let's write it now. So we just need a PQ of int, call it max heap, and we just store frequencies. PQ dot push frequency of I, and then we have a queue of pair of int. This is CPU while not max heap dot empty or CPU is non-empty. MD, hello brother, hello with a wave. My camera is off, but I am waving. Okay, while max heap is non-empty and CPU is non-empty, we need to check if there is something to schedule to the CPU. If max heap is not empty, then current frequency is max heap dot top, right? Max heap dot pop. Then and we need the time as well. What is the current time? What are you coding? I am coding elite code question 621. Loki gamer, hey brother, how's it going? I'm doing 621 question of lead code. Okay, we have the maximum frequency now. We need to put this into the CPU, right? Now CPU dot current frequency minus minus CPU dot push make. I can simply push this. Is it easy? It's tagged medium, but it's pretty different from the usual question, so it is kind of in a medium to hard area. So yeah, it's a different kind of different. All good. How are you? I'm also good, brother. Thanks for asking. Okay, so we push this current frequency to the CPU and we update the timer, like at which time this task will get evicted from the CPU, which will be time plus n plus 1. And then now before subtracting, okay, let's see this guy. If current is not 0, then q dot push this, otherwise time plus plus. What if current is 0? Let's say current was 1, right? Yeah, then in just one interval it will be fine. Okay, makes sense. So if current frequency is not 0, then we push it to the CPU. Otherwise time is already moving, so okay. Else if max heap is empty, this means uh, there are two cases. Either all of the tasks are in the CPU, or there are no tasks left, right? Now if all of the tasks are in the CPU, then I need to move the time. So if Q is not empty, do you play piano? I have the same piano. Yes, I do. Yep, I do play the piano. I have the same piano. That's great, man. What model do you have? Q is non-empty. Pair of int uh, current task q dot front q dot pop. Now I need to insert this into the max heap, right? Max heap dot push current task dot first and time equals current task dot second, right? That's all we need to do, I believe. If q is empty and q dot front dot second is time, q dot pop. And time equals q dot front dot second. Now this is okay. Okay, brother, time to leave. Bye bye. See you around. Okay, good game, brother. Goodbye. Okay, if max heap is empty, what does that mean? Everything is in the CPU. Then we just move time to q.front.second. Return time. I just kind of copied everything. pq.push. Shit, this is max heap. q.front.second. I fucked it. CPU. Okay, let's write comprehensive comments here. Non-void function does not return a value in all control paths. Oh, this was the while loop. My bad, brother. Now, one thing to notice here is stores frequency of tasks. Skip 0 frequencies. Stores frequency and valid time to evict. If there are tasks to schedule, then we get the current frequency, we decrease it. If it is non-zero, if it is the last remaining task, then we don't care. What are you building? I think lead code. Yes, sir, this is lead code. I am not building anything. I'm just destroying my brain on lead code problems, which are useless in real life. That's what I do. Okay, where was I? Okay, if there is a last remaining task, which means the frequency of that task is 1, then we don't care. We just schedule it and move on with our life. We increase the timer by 1, which makes sense. Now, if there is nothing in the max heap, which means there are no tasks left to schedule to the CPU, then we move the time, we jump the time. We move the time not by 1, but by the time when the front task gets evicted. Move time fast, because there are no other tasks to schedule to the CPU. Are you doing CS uni? I've already done. I have a job. I have a job, brother. I'm looking for interviews, looking for a switch. That's why all of this lead code. Now, if CPU is non-empty and the time has reached, CPU is non-empty and time has reached to evict the front task, push it to back to the max heap, pop from CPU. Okay. Where do you work? It's a big company. I work at Akamai basically. Have you heard of Akamai Technologies? here. Oof, thick. What does that mean, brother? What does that mean? It's bad, I know, it's bad. Was it accepted? Yep, it is. It is located in the EU. Oh, it's an American company headquartered in Boston, Boston or Cambridge, I don't know, in US. It has offices in the EU, of course. It has offices worldwide. So, okay, design Twitter. Design a simplified version of Twitter where users can post tweets, follow, unfollow another user, and is able to see 10 most recent tweets in the user's newsfeed. Implement the Twitter class. Twitter initializes your Twitter object. Post tweet, get newsfeed, void, follow, unfollow. Follower, followee. Um, I'll be right back in 2 minutes. I remember doing basic program C for non-preemptive CPU scheduling. Headache if you ask me. Yes, it is indeed. Yeah. C programming is kind of, it's frustrating. But all of the courses begin with C, so I don't know why. I think they test students, like if they are ready to go through their C programming course, then they're ready to become programmers, I believe. C program is frustrating, man. Okay, back onto this question. So we are designing Twitter here. What does the input contain? So we need to write functions, these functions. Okay. Post tweet for a user ID and tweet ID. And then we get newsfeed retrieves the 10 most recent tweet IDs in the user's newsfeed. Each item in the newsfeed must be posted by users who the user followed or by the user themselves. Tweets must be ordered from most recent to least recent. That's why I don't like C. Yeah. Yeah, C++ is way better. I mean, it has a lot of things built in, so you don't need to write a crap ton of code to achieve a small thing. Many libraries help. Yeah, C is hard. Yep, C is pretty hard. I did the C only in college. That's all. I never touched C again. Okay, 10 most recent. I believe this is the function that needs most work here. Tweets must be ordered from most recent to least recent. What does that mean? So with post tweet, do I need to add some sort of timestamp or something? Or is tweet ID going to cover that? I mean, if tweet ID is is in increasing order, then it's fine, right? Then I don't need to do anything. Okay, void follow. In follower ID, followee ID. So this follower ID is following followee. Unfollow. Okay. In C++, C might be hard but hella powerful. Yes, yep. That's why all of the low level shit is done in C. It is close to the hardware, so it does really well with, low level stuff. I think Linux is written in C. Linux GitHub. Yeah, C. Pretty badass, Every server is powered by Linux. Almost every server. So C is holding the fort. Pretty good, In C++, I think have a library for strings, while in C you need to use char. Yep, that is correct. That is 100% correct. Let's see some C code in this. Any okay, update exit.c. What is the change here? Oh no, man. I mean, it's just a case change. This is fine. Let's see some good pull requests. I mean, which have okay, there is some Rust as well. Rust is also catching up in this sector, so mostly okay. I'm more into cybersec, though I don't know any Python. Do we need Python for cybersecurity? I'm not sure, brother. What does cybersecurity involve? I mean, what is your work? What do you do? Like certificates and stuff? I don't know. Enlighten me, brother. And let me think this, what can be done here. I'm learning JavaScript for web dev. That's good. Keep going, brother. JavaScript is pretty good for building website, but I would suggest after JavaScript, once you are comfortable with writing JavaScript code, you can move on to TypeScript, because TypeScript is more strict. It gives you less room to make mistakes, and it is pretty stable for building websites that last for a long time. And in companies where you want to work, they will always use TypeScript. I am learning Python. That's also good, man. Unless you want to be a skid, Python will be quite handy. Yeah, Python is pretty good, man. Python works everywhere. If you are interacting with electronics, if you are doing data science, you can even build websites using Flask. Any sort of shit, anything can be done with Python. Unit testing, I mean, browser UI testing, Selenium and shit. I haven't done that, but I have seen that happen in Python. And I know C++ basic instead of vectors. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's also good. Yeah, one object oriented language should be there in your pocket. I'm working towards security plus ATM. Security plus ATM. So I'm confused. Is ATM at the moment, or is it ATM where you get cash from? I'm kind of confused here. At the moment, okay. Security plus. Okay. Security Plus. Is it a new thing? Security Plus. Security Plus certification. Comp TIA Security Plus. Represent the latest, greatest in cybersecurity. Okay. Entry level cybersecurity credential offered by non-profit Comp TIA. Ah, it's a cybersecurity certification. Got it. Interesting. Automation, zero trust, IoT, risk, and more. Once you're certified, you will understand the core skills. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I was searching in here in a different window. Let me put it back here. Let's see. How can I do this? I messed up. Oh no. Yeah, I was reading this. Yep. Interesting. So you protect us engineers, right, from doing um, vulnerable stuff, right, and people in general. Yep. It's good, man. Nice. I know also some C++ for Arduino. It is not so hard. Yeah. C++, modern C++ is pretty easy. You just need to get familiar with pointers and you're good to go. It's pretty similar to Java. Yeah, my goal is to earn OSCP, OSEE is the end goal though. Is it like some advanced level of cybersecurity certificate? OSCP, Offensive Security Certified Professional and Ethical Hacking Certification that validates a candidate's penetration testing. Oh, interesting. So you work in EU? Where are you from, brother? If you're from the USA, you can get into NSA and CIA and shit, you know. CIA is probably keeping track of everything that I'm doing right now. Not just me, everyone. So, I don't know. I hope I stay white hatted lol. Learning Nmap already got me scanning my uni website and shit. White hatted. I've heard that term. White hatted means ethical hacking, right? White hat. Yeah, ethical hacker. So a hacker which is hacking for positive changes, right? Now CIA in my thing, I'm located in Greek. Oh, so Greek secret service, secret agency. Yeah, who uses hacking skill identify? Yep, for positive changes. Correct. OSCP. How long does it take to study for this? Or I'm pretty unfamiliar with this field. Ethical hacking. So you hack using which language? Python. Interesting. A lot, if you ask me. The exam itself is 24 hours. Damn, brother. 24 hours. That's what? That's crazy. What do they do in 24 hours? Are you allowed to sleep in those? I don't know. OSCP exam. Hands-on practical 24-hour time frame. The exam is significant include online preparation. Must successfully attack and penetrate various live machines within a 24-hour time frame. Oh, so okay, there are some servers that you need to penetrate into. Okay. That's kind of badass, you know. OSEE is pretty tough. Advanced Windows exploitation. So, okay. Exam is 71 hours and 45 minutes. What? Two challenges, each challenge is worth 50 points, partial credit. Crazy, brother. 71 hours. What? And after this certificate, do you get job offers immediately, or what's the deal? Or do you get hired by the government, secret agency, stuff like that? What happens after clearing OSEE exam? Digital badge verifiable. You'll also gain recognition, expertise, career benefits. Yeah, job prospects. Interesting. Okay, so back onto this question. Let's just look at my last. Okay, I haven't done this question before. Interesting. You are highly respected within the cybersec community, and yes, companies will hire you for the expertise. That's that's good, man. Nice. So you just show your badge and you're in. That's fire. Okay, so for this Twitter, I believe a hash map should work, right? What a boring question, man. Find median from data stream. Okay. Let's just do this, okay. Now for tweets, should I store tweets by user? I mean user ID as the hash key and a list of tweet IDs? And is tweet ID in an increasing order? All tweets have unique IDs. Having such a goal is indeed ambitious, but like it's gonna take me decades to achieve though. But if you keep your head high, you can achieve it, man. You can achieve anything. But I mean, it must be worth the grind, right? You get paid in fucking huge amounts. Is it? Is it the case? Salary must be fat for this cybersecurity certificate guy, right? OSEE. OSEE expertise must be next to Jeff Bezos, I believe. Or close, maybe. Okay, so for here, let's follow, unfollow. What does these two do? What is the point of these two? Following. Okay. Newsfeed. So each item in the newsfeed must be posted by users who the user followed by or by the user themselves. Tweets must be ordered from the most recent to least recent. Okay, I need some diagrams to understand this. So there is a user here. Let's call it user. And 3 people follow this user. Let's say these are A, B, C, and this user follows three people, P, Q, and C. So this user is following these three people. Yeah, I mean, while you are learning it you can also do bug bounties, CTF, to earn some pennies. Yeah, in open source projects, right? Or maybe bug bounties are posted somewhere, right, on some company's portal. I mean, whatever company you are trying to find that bug in, right? Man, I need to get into this stuff, man. Lead code is kind of boring. Finding bugs and shit. How to okay, how to find bug bounties. Okay. Interesting. Yes, many open source projects and even large companies offer bug bounty programs where you can earn up to $50K. It depends on the company and the bug you're dealing. Yep. Yeah, if you have, like, if you are a tester, I mean, in cybersecurity, you can do that stuff. And even when you learn about more security vulnerabilities, your like your mind opens to more opportunities, or like kinds of bugs that I don't even know about. Okay, so back on this Twitter question. Okay, so if a user follows PQ and C, and PQ, let's say, has 3 tweets, Q has 1 tweet. Okay, so the time also matters. So that's why my question is this tweet ID in an increasing order? I don't know. User 1 posts a new tweet ID 5, ID 6. Okay. Most recent to least recent. All tweets have unique IDs. Composes a new tweet with ID tweet. This tweet ID can be, I don't know, man. Retrieves the 10 most recent tweet IDs. Let's look at one of these solutions. This guy is good, Stefan Pockman. Unlike software development, you can never stop learning cybersecurity since new exploits and vulnerabilities are evolving day by day. So does the demand for pen testers. Yeah, exactly. But even in software dev, there's new stuff always there to build. I mean, there is new stuff in software dev. That's why there are new exploits, right? That kind of makes sense, but I mean, you understand what I want to say, right? Like, there are new frameworks and shit. Like, recently Next.js had a big bug, right? Next.js bug. Yeah, critical flaw in Next.js, this one. Sorry, you don't have permission. What? Yep. Authorization potentially bypassed with critical Next.js. Yep. Yeah, Next.js is a new framework. That's why there are new bugs to discover. So shit keeps going, man. This software development and they go hand in hand. Okay, so evolving tech unfolds evolving possibilities. Indeed. Yep, exactly. Okay, let's just do this question and I'll go back to sleep. Let's give me a language where I can understand this. Okay. No explanation, just the code. Okay. So this guy is using a data structure of map using integer and user. So he created a class user which has a user ID, a set of integers of followed, and a tweet. What is a tweet, brother? Tweet is a different class, I believe. What is a tweet? What? Okay, class tweet. Tweet has an ID, a time. Yep, that's what I was saying. So tweet ID doesn't guarantee that a tweet with ID larger than another tweet doesn't guarantee that it is more recent. Ain't you concerned about AI taking over software field? Um, Not exactly. I mean, not concerned, but it's gonna eliminate a lot of jobs. That's the problem. But it is creating new jobs as well. So, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely gonna eliminate junior positions. That's for sure, because companies will expect senior people to do more with AI. I mean, more in the same time, more work in the same time. So yeah, that's kind of um, bad, you know. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe in 5 years, they'll start rehiring engineers again to fix the code that AI wrote previously. You know what I mean. People would have to either work on AI, ML, or just level up their game. Yep, leveling up the game is the game. So you have to become a better engineer, better at software engineering, basically. So you have to do stuff that AI can't do, like designing stuff, basically thinking creatively, thinking simple solutions, because AI always gives a fuck ton of text, like LLMs specifically. So yeah, you have to, even this, like AI is giving me three choices for a solution for, so I have to pick which one fits best for my needs. So that is still the job for a human to do. Yeah, I mean, the engineers that just type their task in an LLM and just copy and paste stuff, they're gonna get replaced sooner or later. So yeah, you have to understand this stuff. People would have to either work on AI, ML. That's a different field. Data scientists and stuff like that. Okay, so this is a pretty good solution. I mean, pretty object oriented. Everything is separated. Now tweet contains an ID, time, and next. What is next? So it is kind of linked list. Okay, so user has a followed list, because we just, for the news feed, we just need followed items. And then tweet head, I believe this is the most um, the first tweet that a user has posted. Then in here, follow, followers dot remove, post, t dot next tweet head, tweet head t. Okay. Then in Twitter we have a hash map, user map, integer to user. Okay. In my POV, engineers are professional Googlers, software devs in specific. Yeah, yeah, kind of. But still, you have to, I mean, debug stuff, so you should be able to read errors or what's happening in front of your eyes on the screen, on the console. So, yeah, it's kind of a, yeah, professional Googlers is very relatable. Or you feed the error to GPT. Um, yeah, you can, but uh, that error can contain, I mean, some company information that is confidential, so you have to filter stuff out. If you are the one that is just copying and pasting everything from console to LLM, they might steal stuff, which is pretty common. So, yeah. Or even if you copy and paste errors, the context matters. So your context might be completely different from what LLM is trying to say. So you have to understand what your code is doing overall. So yeah, GPT helps, of course. But yeah, this chat GPT has completely eliminated the use of stack overflow. So that is a thing. So no one is using stack overflow these days in my circle. Okay, so in here, user map is a hash map from user ID to the user object. Then compose a new tweet, post tweet. If user map doesn't contain that user, then create that user. Then user ID dot get user dot post. What does post do? So in user we can see post just appends that tweet to the tweet head. Tweet head is null. T dot next equals tweet head. Oh, so we are appending the tweet in front of the linked list, so the most recent ones are at the top. That's good. Not exactly like that, but once you understand where it went wrong, with enough prompt you provide and the part where the error occurred, you can easily debug stuff. Yeah, yep. That's valid. That's valid. Yeah, that's a valid point actually. But still, a human is using that chat GPT, right? Maybe in 2 years they make an agent that just does what humans are doing right now. But still, I mean, I don't know. Management tends to blame humans and not robots. They need some person uh, whom they can put the blame on, right? When something goes wrong, of course. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's pretty new stuff, so we have to see what's gonna happen. There's no way to predict if engineers are getting replaced or not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so in here, this is pretty good linked list. Anyway, I'm not trying to change your ways. I was simply stating my POV. Keep going, you'll soon crack more interviews. Yeah. That's fine, man. It's good to hear more opinions and stuff, more perspectives. It gives you uh, something to ponder upon. That's always good. So yeah, thanks for the your insights, man. It was nice talking to you, and thanks for your best wishes. Hopefully, I crack interviews and get that money. That's all. That's all we are here for. Should I learn C++ or Python? You can learn whatever you feel like, brother. Depends on your context. What are you trying to achieve? But if you're asking for a first programming language, it doesn't matter. You can learn anything you want. You can start with anything, but you have to keep going. That's all. Okay, so in post, we have a linked list, post tweet, bam, bam, bam. Now get news feed. Best part of this, first get all tweets list from one user including itself and all people it followed. Second, add all heads into the max heap every time we pull tweet with the largest timestamp from the heap, then we add its next tweet to it. Let's look at the code. So we have a linked list. If user map doesn't contain this user ID, return list. Makes sense. Then users, then we get the followed list of that user. Then we put a priority queue up with users.size and b.time, a.time, users.size. Why users.size? Let's see. For int users in user, we get the tweet head. If we add null to the head, we are screwed. If t is not null, q.add t. Okay, we get the latest tweet of every user. That's all. We get the head, tweet head. Int n is 0 while q is not empty and n is less than 10. N is less than 10. Tweet t q.poll. Rest.add t. If t.next is not null, q.add. So it's kind of a sort multiple linked list kind of deal. So this function is doing that. And follow is simply just, okay, if user map doesn't contain that follower, we create that and then we put it into the follower list, and then if it is done, okay, unfollow is same shit. Okay, pretty clean solution, pretty good, man. All right. All right, so yeah, it's been quite a while. I will code this up offline after this live stream. So yeah, I'll end the live stream in a minute. So yeah, thanks for hanging around in the chat, man. It was good talking to you guys. So Yep. Have a good rest of your day or night, wherever you are. Goodbye, man. All right. GG's.